Welcome to the Veteran Entrepreneur Network. I'm your host, Cameron Burrell, Army engineer veteran, entrepreneur, and fleet operations business owner. On this podcast, we talk trucking, logistics, fleet operations, entrepreneurship, business growth, leadership, and real-world lessons from the field. Let's get into today's episode. Real-world business, real strategies, real results. Hook. Let me start with a mistake that cost us an entire week of profit. We quoted a wash and detail for a 5-truck lot, threw in travel as a token line item, and priced it to get the job. On site, hours ran long, a pump failed, we waited for access, and by the time the day ended, our techs had worked double time for almost nothing. It felt avoidable, because it was. That miss became my team's turning point for how we build quotes and protect margins. Episode promise. By the end of this episode, you'll have a simple costing checklist you can run through in 3 minutes, a template for a clear price menu, and practical contract language and scripts to keep scope creep and surprise costs from eating your profit. 10 minutes to better quotes. That's the goal. Point 1. Break down true job cost. This is where most operators underprice. They count labor and a rough materials number, and forget travel time, idle time while waiting for access, equipment wear, or a fair share of overhead. Start with labor by minute. If a tech is paid $24 an hour, that's 40 cents a minute. If a job takes 2 hours on site, that's 120 minutes times 40 cents, $48 in direct labor. Next, travel and time on the road. Don't bury travel in a vague line item. Build travel as drive time times tech rate, mileage or fuel allowance, and any tolls or additional time for accessing difficult yards. If the round trip is 60 minutes, that's another $24 in labor alone, plus fuel and wear. Consumables matter too: soaps, chemicals, towels, and they add up when you're doing fleets. Track cost per truck or per hour. A small mistake there compounds across a multi-truck site. Equipment depreciation and maintenance. Include an allocated hourly cost for your pressure washers, pumps, and trailers. A simple way is to budget an equipment replacement fund, say 5 to 10% of your equipment value per year. Divide that by your annual billable hours to get an hourly equipment charge. Then overhead, insurance, office time, scheduling, and admin. Allocate a conservative percent per job, commonly 10 to 20% of direct costs, depending on your business size. Pull that all together into a true job cost: direct labor plus travel labor plus consumables plus parts plus equipment allocation plus overhead allocation. Build a small buffer for unknowns. I usually add 5 to 10% on the first pass for jobs I haven't done before. That buffer should come down as you collect actuals. Point 2. Convert costs to a price menu. Decide your margin targets up front. For many mobile fleet services, a target gross margin between 35 and 50% gives room for reinvestment and variability. From the true job cost you just built, calculate the price that hits your margin target. Example, $150 true job cost with a 40% margin target means a sale price of about $250. Use tiered pricing. Small jobs or one-off calls should include a higher per unit charge to cover the same fixed costs, while fleet packages or recurring retainers can be priced lower because they reduce per unit travel and admin. Build a simple quote template: line items for labor, travel, consumables, equipment allocation, overhead, margin, and final price. Make it readable. Customers respond to clarity. Put optional add-ons as separate line items, not buried in the total. Point 3. Quoting practice and scripts. On the phone, lead with a quick qualifier. Can you tell me how many trucks, what condition, and whether you need access or staging? Those 3 questions cut down surprises. If a job looks standard and under 90 minutes on site, use a template ballpark number with a clear range. If it's bigger or has unknowns, schedule an on-site estimate. Based on what you've told me, I can ballpark this at X to Y. That gives us a working number for scheduling. To give you a firm price, I'll need a short site visit to confirm access and condition. I can do that tomorrow and get you a written estimate. That keeps momentum and protects you from scope surprises. Rules for discounts. Set an approval threshold. If a quote falls below your margin target, require sign-off from an owner or manager before giving a discount. Use discounts to win strategic accounts only, not as a default. And document any discount with a short reason code in your coding system so you can review later. Point 4. Protecting margin in the contract. Your written estimate should include clauses for cancellation, access delays, and scope changes. Example language. Quoted price assumes normal access and condition. Additional time or materials required due to access issues, heavy contamination, or equipment failure will be billed as change orders at the rates listed. Keep the language short and direct so it's enforceable and understandable. Standby or access fees. Add them to your template and use them. If your crew is on site but waiting for keys, escorts, or staging, you should be compensated for that time. A simple standby rate, say 50% of tech hourly per waiting hour, discourages delays and covers your cost. Documenting change orders in the field. Equip techs with a one-line change order form on a phone or tablet. Extra time for X, additional $Y. Customer approved? Yes, no. That immediate documentation keeps conversations from turning into disputes later. If a customer verbally approves, follow up with a text or email confirming the change and the extra charge. Recap an actionable system. 3 things to start today. 1. A 3-minute costing checklist. Estimate labor minutes, add travel time, add consumables, include equipment allocation, and tack on 10% overhead and a small buffer for unknowns. 2. Build a simple price menu with tiered pricing and clear add-ons. 3. Start a daily tracking habit. For 2 weeks, capture actuals for every job, time on site, travel minutes, consumables used. Compare actuals to estimates and adjust your templates. If you adopt these habits, conservative buffers, clear contract language, and a short daily tracking habit, you'll stop bleeding margin on routine jobs and start pricing with confidence. The goal isn't to be the cheapest, it's to be reliable, transparent, and profitable. If today's episode helped you, share your pricing wins on social and tag @Veteran Entrepreneur Network. DM us for the one-page pricing template. I'll send the checklist and the price menu example. Tell us what topic you want next, and we'll cover it. I read every DM, and I'll reply when I can. Thanks for listening to the Veteran Entrepreneur Network. If today's episode brought you value, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast with another entrepreneur, owner-operator, or business professional. Keep building, keep learning, and keep moving forward. We'll see you on the next episode.